Welcome to Recently Logged, where two straight white guys talk about a feminist film on International Women's Day.
Hi.
Hello there, guys.
We're very underqualified.
Happy International Women's Day.
Yeah, happy International
Yay.
Women's Day.
Women rock. Just
yeah.
figured I'd let you know. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Go watch The Farewell or something. I don't know.
Go do it.
There's a lot of great movies directed by women.
It's true. Lulu Wang, I swear, I'm so excited for Lulu Wang's new movie,
Right?
honestly. Like, with how good The Farewell was.
But Robbie,
Bro, it freaking rocked.
is this a good movie directed by a woman? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
But Micah, you haven't said the name of the movie. How should I know?
How foolish of me.
Wow, okay.
We're talking about Moxie.
Moxie. Oh, yeah, we didn't introduce ourselves. I feel like we keep forgetting to do that.
I didn't think it was ever a thing.
I was trying to make a habit of it in case this is like someone's first episode. I'm Robbie.
And I'm Micah. And we're Monsters Inc.
Just gonna leave you hanging there, Micah.
Yeah.
But yeah, welcome to Recently
Welcome to Recently Logged. We're talking about Moxie.
We're talking about Moxie.
2021 Netflix original, directed by Amy Poehler.
I was not aware. Okay, so little background here. I chose Moxie because it looked interesting. Like I saw a new Netflix film had come out. I saw that it was directed by Amy Poehler, which I do like her work most of the time.
I like her acting.
Yeah, I like her acting quite a bit. And I was not aware that this would be going out on International Women's Day, which shame on me for not knowing when International Women's Day is, I guess. But like, I don't know. I feel very underqualified to speak on this movie on the whole.
I was like, why don't we have a guest on the podcast this week? And Robbie was just like, because I forgot.
I was about to say, literally, especially for like people waiting on our guest list to like come on the podcast, they know how infamously bad I am at planning stuff.
Yeah, don't blame me.
Scheduling wise.
I'm not in charge of schedule.
So I did pick this because I knew it was international, or I guess it's not international, it's just Women's History Month.
Yeah.
And I chose it because of that. But now that it's on International Women's Day as well, I feel especially underqualified to speak about Moxie. But we're gonna try our best. I did really enjoy it on the whole, I would say.
Yeah. Take what we say with a grain of salt. Though.
Yes.
We are not the most qualified people in the slightest to talk about this.
I think we're probably the least qualified demographic of people.
Right?
Maybe if we were like 30 years older, we'd be the least qualified demographic to speak on this. But yes, I just wanted to get that out of the way as a disclaimer. We're gonna try our best to talk about it and not sound like absolute idiots. So, but it is kind of difficult though.
Go watch Moxie.
Go watch Moxie. Yeah, sure.
It's fun.
It's a good movie, I would say.
Yeah.
But we're gonna talk more about that later, Micah.
All right.
Wow.
Do we want to get into basic thoughts?
No, basic facts actually.
Basic facts. I forgot about that section.
Mike is like basic thoughts.
That's my job. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's go over the main info, the stuff you need to know about Moxie.
The basic facts. All right. Robbie's dying a bit.
I was choking and dying at the beginning of the segment. It's fine.
All right. Let's go over the basic facts according to IMDb.
Tell us, Micah. Let us know.
So Moxie is a 2021 movie rated PG-13. It's 111 minutes. A little description thing on IMDb is fed up with sexist and toxic status quo, or the sexist and toxic status quo at her high school. A shy 16-year-old finds inspiration from her mother's rebellious past and anonymously I can't speak, okay?
I was about to say, Micah, are you sure you want to be doing this?
Anonymously publishes a zine that sparks a school-wide coming-of-rage revolution.
A rage revolution.
Its cast consists of mostly first-time actors, if I recall, looking at
except
these, right?
Except for Booksmart guy.
There's, well, even then, I bet, like, first time in the fact that, like, first big role.
Oh, yeah.
Hadley Robinson. We've got Lauren. Help me out.
Wait, what? Tasai, something like that. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Once again, you get the two straight white guys who know nothing about anything.
Alyssa Pass.
I believe that's Alicia, Micah.
Or Elisa. Wow, I'm Alicia. I can't speak.
Micah.
What am I doing?
Micah, what is happening?
It's a name. You can figure it out.
Okay,
There's people in this.
Wow. Okay.
Alicia.
Wait,
you gotta help out here.
Pascal? I don't know. Pina, I'm assuming, is at the end. It's supposed to be an accented in, actually.
It's supposed to be an accented
I don't know
in.
why it's not.
But man, I'm sorry, guys. Apparently I can't read today.
I was about to say, Micah not only has struggled to read the one paragraph, he has also struggled to read multiple people's names.
Yeah, let's look up the cast. Do it.
I was about to say.
It's directed by Amy Poehler.
Which we thought was pronounced Amy Poehler for the longest time.
But it turns out it's just Poehler. It's written by Tamara Chestna.
Yeah,
and
that sounds right.
Dylan Meyer. Based on a book by Jennifer... They're killing me. Mathieu.
You know, it was actually funny, Micah, because I was putting in the info for the description of this movie, and I was like, Micah's gonna trip so hard on these names.
Well, these are not normal names here.
Normal names, Micah.
Look at these last names. I don't know how to pronounce this stuff.
Maybe you just need to expand your horizons, Micah.
Maybe I do. But then again, I couldn't pronounce polar right, so...
I was about to say we couldn't even pronounce polar.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Moxie.
That's what you need to know, I guess. Did you already mention that it's a Netflix movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
At the beginning.
Well, you didn't mention it in the basic facts.
It's a Netflix original.
Ooh. Which I think just means Netflix distributes it, right?
I mean, they fund it.
Oh, do they?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I was about to say, I don't know how their quote unquote like original program works, you know?
Yeah.
Like, cause there's like A24 movies where some of them, they're like involved directly in the production. I don't know. Netflix originals. Yeah, I wonder what does qualify it. Cause it's kind of weird, right?
Yeah, I figured that.
Wait, Micah, wait, you Googled it?
Yeah.
What did you figure? We're getting extremely off topic. What did you figure?
Well, I don't know. I thought you would talk about something. You waited for me to look up this random side thing.
Oh, well, I wasn't, like, waiting for you. I was just seeing what you were doing.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, but yeah. Yeah, it's a Netflix original. And we watched it on Netflix. So, I mean... there's something.
Yeah, most of Netflix's originals aren't funded by Netflix.
I figured they just picked them up for distribution, which makes a lot more sense.
Some of them are, though. I'm assuming more stuff like probably like Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah,
like their big shows, I'm sure they fund.
But yeah, with those out of the way, with the facts that are basic, they have been listed. So let's get on to what we actually thought of Moxie.
Let's do it.
Wow, let's do it. Okay, well, we were both waiting for each other to talk first. I guess I'll go first. Why not? You know?
You usually do after I do.
You usually do.
Basic facts.
It's true.
Tell you, what are your basic thoughts?
My opening thoughts.
Your basic thoughts on Moxie.
When will you accept that we changed the segment name?
We didn't. You didn't consult me.
Okay. Well, it was a new season. I figured I could just slip it in behind the cracks. Under the radar. Behind the cracks.
Wow.
Okay. What did I think of Moxie? As I said before, I quite liked it. On the whole, actually, a lot more than I was expecting to. But that was just because, like, most Netflix original films that I have seen in the past are just really mediocre or just bad.
Yeah.
But I actually found myself getting like really oddly emotionally invested in this movie, which I don't know why I find that odd. It's just I usually am not a very like emotional movie watcher, like on the whole. And this one for some reason really caught me in the feels, and I'm not even sure why.
Didn't do that for me.
It's not a very effective script for doing that. Maybe I was just a hormonal last night or something. I don't know.
Wow.
What to say about Moxie? I say most Netflix films are pretty mediocre, and I think that kind of stands for this. Like it kind of goes for this as well.
On a filmmaking
level. I was gonna bring up for just the technical side. The direction is not as like generic as I thought it would be. I feel like Amy Poehler actually did have a vision of sorts for what she wanted Moxie to be. Whether or not that actually pulled off like correctly, I don't know. There's some weird stylistic choices that don't work that well. Some of the needle drops especially, I don't know. The editing in this was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just pretty generic in most of its execution. A lot of the performances are pretty mediocre-ish, not bad enough to be like bad,
yeah,
but
I
not
don't think there was
not
any
there. I don't
performances of like bad note.
Yeah, I don't think there was a great performance either. Like none of the actors seemed to really be bringing too much to their roles outside of what was already there in the material. But I mean, like, once again, none of them were bad. Even like I would consider almost all of these performances like a good start for any career.
Yeah. And like I said, like a lot of these
people are first
really
time.
Didn't have anything else before this.
So props to them. They did actually a pretty decent job. I just was gonna say like none of them gave like outstanding performances. Like oh my gosh, give them the Oscar right now.
It was a very Netflix movie.
Yeah. Which once again, I don't feel like Amy Poehler was hoping to get an Oscar performance out of any of them. What else should I mention? I mentioned both of the big technical aspects that stuck out to me. The message of this film, which this film is very much a message film, like it has a very defined message that it very much pushes at the viewer. The film wouldn't exist if not for that.
If there was no message, there would be no film.
Which isn't inherently a bad thing.
No,
like I brought up Mean Girls earlier. It has one like very strong message that it pushes for its entire movie.
Well, I definitely think it's to its benefit in this movie, only having like one big thing.
Yes. What was I going to say about it? It is a message film. Whether or not it executes its message well is an interesting talking point, which we're going to get into later.
Yeah.
In the next segment. But I don't feel like on the whole it was that graciously handled. Like it's there, obviously, and I have a feeling a lot of people who are very unfamiliar with the feminist movement on the whole will probably be like, oh, that's pretty dope, actually.
I'm gonna go listen to Rebel Girl
for
three times. 3 times.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's good if this gets more people looking into the feminist movement, but I don't know if on the movie's side if it's that well executed in the movie.
Yeah. A lot of interesting topics, which granted a lot of people have talked about. We're not just like the sole people who have come up with this. It's been one of the biggest
this
things.
Is my revolutionary thought.
One of the biggest things talked about with this movie is how it deals with all of its various characters relating to its main point. But we'll get more into that later.
Yeah. What did you think of Moxie, Micah?
What did I think of Moxie? I very much enjoyed Moxie.
Wow.
I like you said, way more than I expected.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I didn't know what to expect with Amy Poehler directing when she had pretty much only directed like one other thing, and it looked really bad to me personally.
It was like a wine mom movie or something, right?
It was.
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
A comedy wine mom movie.
The wine mom comedy.
Yeah, no, I was surprised that this was pretty enjoyable. It's very Netflixy in its production. Like it's not very interestingly shot. Doesn't have any standout actors.
Bro, the lighting.
The lighting is very like on that side of things. It's very much exactly what you would expect for what it is. Even beyond just being a Netflix movie, being like a teen movie, even like something like Mean Girls. And while Mean Girls is shot better, they are like it's just very kind of plain without much stylistic shooting, but I don't think it really needs that much. It could have added to the movie for sure, but it's not really any less for not having super flashy filmmaking in it.
Yeah.
And beyond that, I think the writing is probably my biggest problem with the movie.
Oh yeah,
quote unquote problem.
Did I even bring up the writing?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I was about to say this. I still think the screenplay is the root for most of this movie's problems.
I haven't read the book. Don't know how the book goes, but we'll get specifically into like the major writing issue later. But like they kind of do this thing in this movie where they throw in what should be like a huge plot point.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Right at the very end of the movie. Like literally like 15 minutes before the movie is over. And it's stuff like that, and making specifically Vivian the main character, which again we'll get into more later, doesn't really make sense when literally almost every other character is more interesting and better for kind of what they were going for as a movie.
Yeah.
But yeah. Overall,
I feel like that sums it up.
Overall, still very enjoyable though.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I'm still a little surprised how much I enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, unexpectedly very enjoyable. And again, I don't know, for specific things that we'll get into later, I know we're not technically speaking the main audience for like the point it was making. Well, you know,
yeah, I would say we are. Well, maybe not me. I'm out of high school now. I don't know. I mean, no, it's a pretty general.
No, I'm saying it's to everybody, like guys and girls.
Yeah.
But like specifically for the fact that we're not really in.
I was about to say we're homeschooled. It doesn't really. I feel like it doesn't apply as much.
This is a lot of the stuff in this is not stuff that I run into too often, but that's just because I'm a hermit at home.
Yeah, I was about to say when we were watching the movie, I'm like, wow, her school sucks, and then our mom was like, you know, like it's not that far off from most regular schools, and I'm like, whoops.
Like we went to a private school for a while.
Yeah, that school sucked.
That school sucked, but not like that.
Not in that way.
It was a different suck.
It was a different brand of suckiness.
So yeah.
But yeah, let's get into the main discussion about Moxie. Gotta lean all the way over to stop.
All right.
Wait, what? We both said all right at the same time. That was weird.
So main discussion, questions, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to open it up with a real nice question.
The meat of the discussion, if you will.
What was your favorite scene or sequence?
Oh my gosh.
You know?
You ask it every episode.
It's got to be asked.
Okay. Gosh, favorite scene? You know, I really... You ask this every single episode, and it never occurs to me to pick one beforehand.
It's kind of an odd movie to pick one for. Because, again, because it's a message movie, there's no specific, like... Obviously, there are different scenes where it does different stuff, but, like, there's no specific... Like, they made this scene to be a standout scene kind of thing.
Yeah. What to say? You know? Dang, what to pick as a favorite scene? I was gonna say, like, the first Moxie meeting, because that's pretty interesting. Like, I think that's one of the few scenes where the cast has, like, the most chemistry together.
Yeah.
even in later Moxie meetings, it just seems kind of like background-ish. I don't know.
Yeah. Gonna do the creepy funeral home date.
I was gonna say the funeral home date, but it is creepy. I don't know. I'm not comfortable picking that as my favorite scene. You know what? Mike?
What do I know what?
I think I'm gonna go with the. Dang it! Every time I keep going to say a scene, and then I'm like, well, no, I don't want to pick that scene.
Wow.
Gosh, I don't know. Do you have any idea, Micah?
I'm gonna go with the first Moxie meeting.
Wow.
I think it was one of the most interesting and memorable scenes in the movie.
You know what? Yeah, I am gonna go with that actually, because can I just go like party leading up to that and that?
Yeah,
that's all. It's all basically one scene.
A lot of the other scenes, especially specifically around Moxie meetings and stuff, get into something that I wanted to talk about specifically with Vivian being the main character.
Yeah,
it drives it to a weird tone, like so. In this movie.
Yes.
This movie about...
This is a movie.
feminism, racism, all that kind of stuff. Like, just pretty much all of the different, like, messed up stuff that you'll find in high school.
Yes.
And really on into the rest of life. We have our main character being a, like, cis, straight, white girl who is not the one getting, like, she is not this movie kind of starts off with one of the main characters, the new black girl at the school, getting harassed by a white guy at their school, and the main character Vivian is like, yeah, just keep your head down, they won't bother you.
They won't bother you.
and it's Lucy who is the one who's like, no, I'm gonna make a stand and everything. So, like, we get off going, and, like, from the moment, like, you say go, Lucy is the more, like, better.
I was about to say, like, I think it's the first scene in the whole movie. She transfers to the school and, like, gets in a quote-unquote argument. I don't know what you would call it, a disagreement. She's at odds with the teacher.
Yeah, and it's just throughout the entire movie, you have Vivian out of all of these characters, and you have tons of characters of different race, of different backgrounds, and different, wow, if I can speak. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know. What are you looking for?
Not straight.
Wow. Different genders, Micah?
Well, no.
Sexuality? Different sexuality?
Sure.
Okay.
Just different, like tons of different things besides just a straight white girl.
I was about to say...
who doesn't have any real problems, whose mom is kind of rich.
I was about to say, there are a bunch of other discriminatory things presented in the background of this movie other than just, like... Great, now I lost the word.
Right?
Oh my gosh, Mike.
But
you're rubbing off on me.
But like, you have all this, and she even gets like
misogyny. There it is.
Misogyny, yes.
Yes.
She even gets slightly called out for it at the end by her friend, because like she doesn't get a lot of the struggle even that they're going through, just because, like, yeah, she gets the feminist side, the sexism side, even to an extent, because again, she wasn't the one being harassed.
Yes.
And it makes Moxie as a movement, to me anyway, watching this movie, a lot of times past, like, the beginning of Moxie, like in the second act and third act, it made Moxie feel very petty. And they even showed it like that, like, just because she had a personal grudge with somebody,
yeah.
it would get, like, torn up by Moxie and everything. And it feels like she does so much bad for this movement that is like a really good movement. And I'm like, just why isn't anybody else leading this movie? She gets like really weird with her mom and the mom's boyfriend for no reason. She's rude to her boyfriend, and like she's like actually awful, and then he's just like okay by the end of the movie. And like everything works out for her. And she didn't really have any real problems besides herself to begin with.
Yeah. No, Yeah, that's...
So that's like my biggest writing problem with the movie.
I don't know if I'd fully go as far as to say Moxie feels petty throughout like the latter half of this.
Just specifically as like a Vivian side of things.
I guess,
not
yeah.
the like obviously once it becomes its own movement, everybody else is doing a better job than she.
Yeah.
Is. But I'm saying like every time she does something, and even like the sticker thing seemed so petty to me.
No, definitely.
Like I'm just like, yeah, I get what you're going for, but like come on. And it is like and even like the end thing, she does like do a big commitment of vandalism. And yeah, it's like for the movement, and yeah, sure, it all like is for a good cause, but it just seems so weird coming from specifically Vivian.
Yes, yeah, that's more what I was going for. Like, because you just said it seemed petty, like near the latter half. I'm like,
well, that's what I'm saying. Is from Vivian.
Yeah, coming
it
from
feels petty,
yeah.
not the movement itself or anything that like that. So yeah, they should have chosen.
I actually was gonna pose a question, Micah. Who do you think should have been leading this story? Because like literally, you could pick almost anyone from the side characters, like side cast of this movie, any of the girls in the side cast of this movie, and it would probably be a more interesting script.
I would say Lucy because it makes sense.
Oh yeah, no,
but
totally
you do
sense.
have other options for interesting characters that you could have based it on, and they all would have brought like different things to the story.
It would have brought. I was about to say Vivian is literally the only female character in this movie who didn't on screen has not faced any sort of like problems really.
And yeah, obviously there's still like lots of sexism at the school.
Oh yeah,
overall.
no, definitely. And I mean, like, of course, like the stuff that's like dress code systematically built into the school, of course, affects her, but like she hasn't been singled out for any reason.
Like the stuff that happened to Lucy was like awful. And,
oh yes.
And she was harassed and everything like that. And even like Emma by the end of the movie, like just almost every other character in this movie has had it worse than Vivian.
Since you guys couldn't see me, I was nodding my head.
Like even the best friend could make for an interesting look at the entire story, because like it is kind of a whole different side.
I really kind of wish they would have played up her part in the script more, because she seems like she's going to be such a big character in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of drop her off until they want to bring her back up again to make Vivian feel bad. I don't know.
Yeah, like there's a lot there. She can't participate in Moxie like she would like to because she's got so much pressure from her parents, because they don't because of their background and culture. They didn't have like, this is their opportunity. This is her only opportunity to get into a good school and make her parents like proud, because they gave up everything to get to America.
Yeah.
And it's stuff like that like would be a lot more interesting to focus on. You even have a trans character in this.
Yeah.
And they're in there for like 2 seconds. You have like a moment like where I struggle to even call them lesbian characters.
Yeah, for real. I was like, it literally, I don't think it comes up in a single other scene.
And I was about to mention this, because you focus on Vivian, it makes all of these other things almost feel like they're just token characters to be there.
I was going to say that actually. A lot of the quote unquote representation of many of the like different issues plaguing the school, they really just feel like a token,
because they don't focus on them at all, and then they just
don't add any depth.
Instead.
Yeah, they don't add any depth to the problems or the characters, and then they're just, by the end of the movie, they just all get fixed.
Yeah, like it bothered me so much that the one trans character was like, the teachers won't call me by my new name,
oh my
and
gosh.
they don't want me auditioning for this part, even though I'd be perfect for it. That gets like, they don't talk about it at all. later scene, boom, she's...
I was about to say, into the movie.
calling her name.
Into the movie, it's just fine now.
And she gets the part. And I'm like, what?
Do they show that they get it? Or
I guess they don't.
I was about to say, I think it just shows the judge
show them
like
extremely happy with her audition. They're like, yeah. And it's just stuff like that you're like, what? And even like the one girl who gets like specifically singled out for her dress code, she would probably be more interesting.
Yeah,
because she fits more into that stereotype of like a pretty girl at school, but you know, that's not what she wants to be treated like.
Yeah, no, once again, literally any side character would have been more interesting than Vivian as a starter for Moxie in the school, and as someone to tell the story through.
And it's interesting, some of the reviews brought up that it is especially interesting to have Vivian being like the starter of Moxie with her mom's character's history.
Yeah.
And how that like that feminist movement that her mom was a part of is typically viewed as not a great thing. Like even by like feminists of today, because they were not really great. Like they were kind of just as bad treating people as they wanted, like to try and get their point across. They weren't including anybody but just them.
Yeah.
And
not great.
So it's just a weird thing in there to have her as the main character, have her mom the way that she is, and have all of these other side characters the way that they are.
Yeah. No, it's interesting.
Let's think of another question.
Another question.
What do you think of Skater Boy Boyfriend?
He was a skater boy. She said, "See you later, boy." Oh, that's such a good song, man. I literally was, okay, Micah can attest, I was literally singing that song like I think all of last night too.
Yes.
The moment I see anyone skateboarding, I immediately start singing probably that whole album. But you know.
But yeah, what do you think of Skater Boy Boyfriend?
What do I think of him? You know, I for some reason I kind of detest the idea of someone who behaves like perfectly in a movie, and I don't know why, because there are people like that, like in real life, who just try.
People like not perfect. Okay, people.
They're not trying. I'm not saying that there are people out there who behave perfectly all the time. I'm just saying that it just kind of feels weird to me whenever a character doesn't seem to have a flaw.
Yeah.
Like the boyfriend character literally is just there. Why?
He's there, like yeah, he's written in there, and he supports their movement.
I mean, I guess the whole thing is like, oh, there is a dude who supports Moxie. I guess.
Heck yeah. I mean,
yeah, who wouldn't? Like, I was about to say, Moxie in this movie rocks.
Right?
Like, who wouldn't?
And like, even in the beginning, I was like, man, even like the stars and hearts thing looks so sick. Who wouldn't do this?
Exactly. Yeah.
But like, he's there just to be, again, that token nice guy who supports the movement and is also perfect in every way.
I was about to say,
the main character.
He literally doesn't do anything like detestable or wrong the entire movie. He doesn't even get like his feelings hurt, really.
And like I said, it bothers me so much. And to word it like one of the reviews I read, that one of her Asian best friend gets mad at her for not getting her side of the story, so then she goes and lashes out at her Asian boyfriend, and then by the end the boyfriend is just like, yeah, like he literally is mad at her. They have no conversation, and then he's just like, yeah, I'm the one who should be just okay with everything now.
I was about to say, he serves an interesting purpose in the screenplay, because I feel like he doesn't really need to be there. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Would the story really change all that much if he didn't exist?
Well, I mean, that's the same thing for all of these other characters that bring a specific thing that the story wanted to showcase was part of the movement, but not go into at all.
Yeah, I was about to say, it just doesn't, it presents an idea that is interesting, and then it just doesn't expound upon it at all in its screenplay.
And again, a lot of the stuff, and I wanted to mention this as we're getting into this, a lot of the stuff, while it is like very big to the movie, it does not take away from the watching experience as much as you might think. Like, it still does, because it makes certain things, like there's still real, like, complaints and everything and problems with the movie, but, like, I'm just trying to say, like, this movie is still rather enjoyable, despite all of these, like, specific things.
Yeah, I would say it's still pretty enjoyable.
I just think, on the whole, the movie doesn't deal with its message as gracefully.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I would like. And I think a lot of it comes down to, and not to use Mean Girls as another example, but it's a really good example.
It is a really great example.
It's made by Tina Fey, who is like Amy Poehler's best friend, from what I can tell. Mean Girls tackles one thing, and it's that girls are super horrible to each other.
I was about to say, girls should stop being less terrible to one another.
And it tackles that from pretty much all sides. It's one idea, it's a simple idea, and it looks at that, and it builds its entire world in movie around this, to the point of stylization that this movie is built around that.
Mean Girls' screenplay is so brilliant. I love it so much.
But Moxie not only has a much, much, much broader topic to look at. Like, especially when they introduce a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of other stuff, not just sexism, but racism, homophobia, transphobia, all that stuff. It makes it one of the broadest topics you could possibly talk about.
I was about to say, they basically choose for their topic bigotry.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Which is the broadest topic in the world. And is a huge problem, yes, but it's so hard. And then not only that, they don't make it like Mean Girls, and the fact, and I'm not saying Mean Girls is the only way to pull this off. I'm just giving an example of how I feel like it could have worked better. They don't do like Mean Girls. They don't stylize it at all. They don't make the world build around what they're trying to say. They just have a world where it is a thing. So, like, like our world, it's no specific thing. There's so much to go around because the world itself is not built around showing this point. It's just there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, everything in Mean Girls is there to show exactly what they're trying to communicate.
And again, Mean Girls isn't mean people. They picked a very specific topic, especially in high school.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I feel like is when they're the most mean, right? I don't know. I feel like that's when everyone is the most mean.
So then you have characters like Seth, who in something like Mean Girls would probably contribute to the story because it would be written in that way. That's why he would be there. But instead, he's just there because. I was about to say, none of the characters really service. Well, not none of them, obviously, but on the whole, most of the characters don't serve to make the point better. Yeah, they don't serve. And literally the whole movie is, this is the point we're making kind of thing. Yeah, it's not written around its point enough to where its characters are all behind the point. They're just there as characters who are also part of this movement.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. It's kind of weird, right?
Yeah. Do you have a question?
I do have a question. Well, no, I don't have a question, actually. But I was going to come up with a question, and then I realized that I didn't come up with anything in the 3 seconds.
I do have a question. Yes.
Do you have a question, Mike?
I don't know. I just came up with a question.
I don't know. I feel like right at the moment, where we sit now, we've tackled the 2 biggest problems I had with it.
Oh. We haven't tackled the ending. I was waiting to put that off.
Oh, yeah.
The ending.
What did you think of the ending,
What did I think of the ending?
That's my question.
I thought it was the worst written thing in the entire movie.
Yeah.
On multiple levels. Like I said, the boyfriend and everything just kind of working out for Vivian in the end.
It's already sorry to cut you off. It's already kind of a bloated runtime, and the fact that the ending feels rushed in its wrap-up.
Yeah, it feels very rushed.
Is really weird.
Yeah,
right?
especially with how much of this movie is spent just showing these, like, almost, not to say shenanigans, but shenanigans that this group is, like, not the specific things that they're doing, but, like, the stuff in between the things that they're doing, with, like, even the boyfriend and stuff like that, just various Vivian shenanigans.
Yeah, I guess.
But the ending, it feels really just kind of, like, out of nowhere. Things wrap up for Vivian without really much
I was about to say
into anything.
I was gonna put a trigger warning at the beginning of this episode, but I'm just not gonna mention it by name. They introduce a certain element to catalyze the ending of the movie.
A huge element.
It just really puts a bad taste in your mouth to have to, like, I say it feels weird because, like, it just introduces this one thing to catalyze wrapping up the movie, and then just boom, it's done. The end.
It's not bad for being there, obviously.
Yeah, no.
I actually really like.
I wish it was introduced earlier in the movie,
but exactly
to help give the story a sense of momentum building to the end.
You have Emma, and obviously she's not happy about things that are happening.
Yeah.
But there's no real setup other than she kind of seems like she is interested in Moxie. That's the only setup to this huge reveal that I feel like pretty much the whole movie should have been stacked around.
I was about to say, like, I feel like that should have come out, like, early on or something, like it been hinted at early on, and that's what sparks whoever is leading the Moxie movement in this hypothetical movie to start it, kind of thing.
Like, make the Moxie movement something more serious. Not that the stuff
to where the thing that's starting it is also the thing that resolves it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That resolves the movie.
Make it, like, because instead, without introducing it at all throughout the movie, in the last 15 minutes, as things are at an all-time low for the Moxie group, you have it come out, and then it just, it works like oh, here you go, that's your convenient thing. Like, it doesn't work as a story. It feels like, yes, this is your convenient thing that will help you wrap up and make, like, you guys not all be in big trouble here for, like, as a movement.
Yeah.
Because they had just kind of run out of steam because Vivian was leading the movement horribly.
Yeah, like I said, it just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth at the end.
Yeah.
Like I said, almost all the side characters' problems get just wrapped up really fast. And I don't know. I think you do have a fair point there, Mike. I think the ending is probably actually the most, like, underwhelming part of this whole movie.
And it sucks because I wanted this ending to be, like, a really good ending. I was really enjoying the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, like, they came out with that, and I was like, okay, really? That's what we're doing right now? Like, right now?
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't give it any time to explore it. They don't give it any time to resolve.
Yeah, they don't let it sit with you, which I guess it would have been a little like cheap. I think you could view it that way, to, like, have it just simmer the whole movie. But I feel like it would have just been such a great driving force for the Moxie movement.
I feel like even if they didn't actually explicitly introduce it, if they had Emma, like, do more, like, to set it up, and if they had,
it does feel so out of the blue at the end.
Even if they had, like, what's his face? What is the character's name? Arnold Schwarzenegger's son character, Mitchell. If they had him do even like more, because while he was harassing people, it's like, I don't know, I feel like there just wasn't anything specifically to set it up between those two characters.
Yeah. No, it's not. Yeah. If for those of you who haven't watched Moxie as of yet, this probably doesn't make much sense.
But the specific, go watch the movie.
Yeah.
It's a much more sensitive topic.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I feel like that covers essentially everything I wanted to talk about. I don't know. Is there anything else you wanted to cover before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like everything kind of leads into this major point of, like, two things. Like, why is Vivian the main character? And with Vivian being the main character, it makes all of these other things, especially this ending point, which should be, like, really, really powerful and really big, to feel...
just kind of cheap.
And just there to, like, for the story, not as part of the story.
Yes.
Because it's Vivian's story. And it doesn't have much to do with Vivian.
Yeah.
She doesn't have any, like, emotional investment in any of the specific problems that these people are having because she can't relate to them. And her charging on this movement and then getting so caught up in, like, her troubles because her friends are mad at her and her mom's dating someone and stuff like this just makes the movie feel... kind of, like, I don't know, like you said, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth when I watch it.
I was about to say, I would, like, be, like, wholeheartedly recommending Moxie to people, but it, like I said, every time I think about it, I'm just like, oh, but it just kind of falls flat at the end.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. It brings up a lot of, like, really good stuff, because there's a lot of messed up stuff that happens, especially in high school.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, it's sad to me that it's not as well written as I would like.
Yeah.
On a whole. Like, even something... I really need to stop coming back to Mean
Micah,
Girls.
you need to find a different movie that has one central point.
Even Mean Girls, though, isn't, like, a masterpiece of a movie. It's hilarious. It's
my favorite comedy.
It's well written, but it's not, like, groundbreaking cinema or anything, and it's not going to, like, start any movements, I doubt. I don't know. Did it?
It might have. Who knows? Micah, you need to look. It's Women's History Month. We really need to look this up.
But this movie feels much more like it was in a good position to actually make an impact as a movie. And I feel like it kind of cut itself short.
Yeah. Last question, Micah, before we wrap things up. What did you think of Larry? That was his name, right? The boyfriend.
Oh, the boyfriend.
Agent Coulson, Micah.
He's a cool guy.
I just wanted to...
Listen, I've seen Clark Gregg in, like, 3 roles. But every single one is a masterpiece.
Is a master class in acting.
I love Clark Gregg. He's really not that great of an actor.
No.
I love this guy so much, though.
I just wanted to bring him up. Him and his chives.
Pretty sure he could say anything and I would find it funny. Yeah.
I was honestly kind of surprised. Like, I had no clue he was in this at all. Until, like, I watched the trailer for it and I'm like, wait a minute, is that who I think it is?
Okay, here's another question then, a return question.
All right.
What do you think of Gracie Lawrence?
Gracie Lawrence.
Her lack of representation in the movie.
Wow.
She was in one scene.
Bro, Gracie Lawrence. I have to stand, Micah.
Right?
I have to stand.
No,
I have no choice.
She's been in Noelle. She's been in Moxie. But they've been such tiny roles. Give her a starring role, cowards.
I was about to say, she keeps posting on her Instagram all the time. Like, she's been auditioning for stuff. But, I mean, evidently it's working.
Right? I mean, even those roles.
Gracie,
I mean,
if you ever hear this episode, we love you.
Right?
Please be in more movies. I was about to say Lawrence rocks.
Freckles Live is one of my favorite songs ever.
If you guys haven't listened to Lawrence, go listen to Lawrence. That's my homework for you.
Freckles Live is one of my favorite songs ever.
Bro, Freckles, what a song.
Right?
What a song.
Dang.
But yes, Gracie Lawrence in this movie, highlight.
Definitely.
For me specifically, literally.
She's in one scene.
Her performance isn't that groundbreaking or anything.
Well, she's in one scene.
Yes.
She has like 2 lines. But she's there.
She's there. And that's good enough for me.
All right. Do we want to go into the closing thoughts?
Let's wrap this up. Wrap it up.
The closing ideas. Okay, I forgot to mention this before we went in.
Wow, you just pop in right at the beginning of closing thoughts.
But... And maybe this is just me, but I saw some other reviews that agreed with me.
Okay.
The fact that, like, the only song that they listen to is Rebel Girl. Like, they listen to, like, she finds her mom's old feminist stuff and turns on Rebel Girl, and then she's like, yes.
Yes. I'm going to become Rebel Girl.
And then they play it. And this just felt so cheesy to me.
Yeah.
And maybe this is just me, but, like just like having like punk music, like Rebel Girl punk music, just be the thing that gets her into the feminist movement.
Yeah.
It feels so cheap.
It feels so weird. Yeah, I was about to say, it just feels so like she didn't really. It makes it seem like she didn't really even care that much, and she just adopted it for the aesthetic, for the punk aesthetic.
I forgot about this.
What?
I forgot about this. She comes into this whole thing. She comes in. She's writing for her college thing. What she cares about. And it kind of feels like she comes up with this just to care about something. She just needs a movement, and she finds her mom's old feminist stuff.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh, Vivian.
Wow.
Okay. Anyway, just need to get that off my chest.
But anyway, who should go first, Micah?
I can go first.
All right, do it.
All right, do it. So my closing thoughts on this is it's
Micah, no. Your closing thoughts are
it's got a lot of problems, especially and specifically communicating the message that it has, and it comes off as a little sloppy, but overall it seems pretty harmless for what it is, and it's pretty fun, and still does bring up some good points and some good, look at the struggle, or at least part of the struggle of various things. I lost the word again, Robbie.
Misogyny?
Yeah, misogyny and various things like that. It gives an interesting look at that stuff. I'm not going to say it's perfect,
because it's not.
But it's still a very fun movie. Probably the best movie I've seen of 2021 so far.
Yeah, I was about to say, currently favorite of 2021.
But I've only seen 3 movies from 2021, so we'll see how it goes. But, I will probably not watch Moxie again, but I will have pleasant-ish memories of Moxie.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll watch it sometime, like a couple years from now, and be like, remember when Amy Poehler directed Moxie?
Yeah.
What a wild time.
In the end, I feel like it's just one of those movies that has a lot of good and a lot of bad. It's got a lot of good points that it brings up, but it also has a lot of not dealing with those in the best ways and mediocre writing. It's got a lot of fun characters, but it doesn't utilize those characters in a very smart way for the story. And it's just kind of one of those movies that's very back and forth and in the middle. And I was really debating giving this either 3 stars or 3.5, but I just like it, so I gave it 3.5.
Wow. What do I think of Moxie? And to fully wrap up what I think of it, once again, I feel like it only has those 2 big problems. Its screenplay just doesn't seem thematically focused enough.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? I don't even remember. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a weird movie in a lot of ways, but I don't know. I'm floundering here. What am I trying to say?
I don't know. What are you trying to say?
Micah, what am I trying to say here?
I don't know. You're supposed to be wrapping up your thoughts.
I totally lost my train of thought, completely. Yes. They picked the wrong person to lead the story.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's entirely on the movie, because I don't know how it is in the book. I'm assuming it's pretty similar to the book with how much Amy Poehler seems to like the book.
Right.
But yeah, no, I feel like a lot of its problems probably stem from the book, which isn't great when your source material has problems such as these. But I don't know. Yeah, like Micah said, it is a fun movie. I don't know. I feel weird calling it a fun movie
right.
with the topic it addresses. But I mean,
it plays itself off half as a comedy though, which is weird. It doesn't feel
Does it?
It has comedic stuff in it.
I mean, yeah, but and that's not necessarily
I don't know. Towards the beginning, I thought they were actually going to make it a comedy, and then it definitely is not.
No, yeah, I was about to say. I don't know. Yeah, I enjoyed Moxie. There you go.
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching Moxie. You should watch it too, I think.
It's interesting too, just like one of the reviews, and specifically what you said with Amy Poehler in the book. One of the reviews on Letterboxd was, I feel like Amy Poehler found this book, discovered feminism, and really wanted to tell everybody.
It's actually pretty funny.
Which is a little bit how this movie kind of feels.
Yeah, I was about to say that kind of sums up. Discovers feminism, wants to tell everybody. Yeah, but yeah,
go watch it.
I feel like on the whole, I feel like we've brought up a lot of negative points, but once again, we did enjoy this movie. It's both of our favorite movies of 2021 at the moment, but we haven't seen very much this year.
Flora and Ulysses and Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, not a too challenging of a lineup.
But yeah, happy International Women's Day.
Yes,
go watch this movie. Go watch The Farewell. Go watch
Mean Girls.
Go watch Greener Grass.
Oh, yes. Bro, favorite female-directed movie is probably Greener Grass. It's so freaking good.
I thought Mean Girls was your favorite comedy.
No, it's my favorite comedy.
Ooh, Greener Grass is a comedy.
Oh, well maybe Greener Grass has been my favorite comedy all along. I just don't think of it as a comedy. But wow. Yeah, it is. Wow.
It's definitely a comedy.
It's actually one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. I don't know why that didn't occur to me.
Women's History Month. Go celebrate women.
Yeah.
Watch some good movies.
Women rock.
Read some good books. Go read Little Women. That's a darn good book.
Go read Little Women.
No. I know this sounds stupid, but that's one of my favorite books.
What's a book about women? Little Women.
No. I know this sounds stupid, and I hate that I hate that this is true. But Little Women is now one of my favorite books. Go watch Greta Gerwig's Little Women.
Wow. Hey, maybe we'll watch that later today.
Yeah.
It's the perfect excuse to watch it.
Right?
You shouldn't need an excuse to watch it. But we've just been putting it off for so long.
Right, I've owned it for like 2 years.
But yeah, let's go ahead and go into what we watched this week. We're going to try and keep it pretty brief since we're already almost capping an hour on this thing. I wasn't expecting it to go this long.
All right.
Yes. Here we go. Okay, well, welcome to What We Watched.
For those of you who don't know, this is the segment where we go over what we watched over the week according to our Letterboxd diary.
Heck yeah.
Also how we got the name Recently Logged, because it's stuff that we recently logged on Letterboxd.
Stuff that we've recently logged. Who'd have thought?
We're going to be starting on the 1st of March.
The beginning of Women's History Month.
Woot woot.
Woot and woot. I second the woot that I first wooted. Okay.
Man, I really haven't watched as many
I've watched quite a few. I've watched quite a few.
As I would have liked to.
Wow, I am on a roll actually. I have literally every entry from this month so far I have put a like next to. I've liked everything I've seen this month.
I have not, because I watched The Eye.
Oh. Oh yeah, I caught like the last 20 minutes of that. But yeah, let's go. We're going from the first, so I believe we have the same thing down.
Yeah, it should be Flora and Ulysses.
Flora and Ulysses.
The
that was weird.
The Disney Plus original?
Yeah, Disney Plus original.
And hey, it's got a female director.
Baby. Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot about that, yeah.
Pretty fun.
Whoa, one of my friends gave it 5 stars. I don't think so. It's not that good.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's how to describe it? It's like Ben Schwartz went out and made a kids movie or something. It has that energy. It has that vibe around it.
Ben Schwartz. Exactly. Like, I don't know. It doesn't do much, like, at all. But it's not really trying to. It's just trying to be a cute, like, kids movie with a superhero squirrel.
I said in my review it was pretty fun and better than I expected it to be. I expected with the CGI squirrel for it to be like really stupid.
Yeah.
But it was actually a pretty fun movie.
Yeah, my review on this is really not great, but not awful. And with a cast like this, how could it not be enduring?
Exactly. Yeah, I was about to say, like, it's a fun movie. If you have like kids or like younger siblings who you think would enjoy like a kids movie, because this is a kids movie, this is a fun pick.
Yeah.
I laughed, I cried.
It was 2 a.m. I gave it 2.5 stars.
Yeah, like I said, I gave all of the ones mentioned here a like. So
later on the 1st, I watched The Artist.
The Artiste,
the silent French film.
Ooh, how do you know it's French, Micah? It's silent.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's honestly probably one of my favorite movies, and I think it does a lot really cool with what it's given. Blah blah blah. I could go on for a lot.
Yeah, we need to do an episode on it. Actually, it exercises its premise really well.
Yeah. I gave it 5 stars. Love me some Artist. Did you watch anything on the 2nd?
I watched. I mean, no, but I watched One Froggy Evening on the 1st.
Wow, One Froggy Evening. Very good. 10 of 10. Then on the 3rd, we watched Moonrise Kingdom, which I had just bought the Criterion for.
Moonrise Kingdom. Wow, flexing your wealth, Micah.
Flexing the fact that I spent way too much money out of money that I very limited supply of money.
Wow.
But the Criterion sale happened, and I got Moonrise Kingdom, and yeah, I really like Moonrise Kingdom. I've only seen one live-action Wes Anderson movie, but I really like live-action Wes Anderson.
I don't know, man. I still don't know what doesn't click with me about Moonrise Kingdom. This was my second time watching it, and I don't know. It just doesn't. It doesn't click with me. I don't know why. I love Fantastic Mr. Fox is like my second favorite movie ever. And I thought I would enjoy Wes Anderson's sensibilities like even more. Like he was even more evolved in his career after after Fantastic Mr. Fox, where he really found his footing and voice directorially when he like entered claymation. And I feel like Moonrise Kingdom seems kind of underwhelming to me, and I don't know why. I want to like watch this movie and study it to try and figure out why I don't like it as much as I want to.
I don't know. I love it. I give it 5 stars.
Yeah. No, I still like it though. I still like Moonrise Kingdom. I just really prefer Fantastic Mr. Fox, and I would actually probably even take Isle of Dogs over it.
Whoa. I
don't think it's better. But I think I personally
Mr. Fox better than Moonrise Kingdom.
I think I personally prefer Isle of Dogs over Moonrise Kingdom. I don't think it's better by any stretch.
Wow.
Its screenplay is kind of a mess.
Wow. Dang.
But yeah, we should do a Moonrise Kingdom episode sometime.
Also on the 3rd,
yes,
we watched Hunt for the Wilder People.
Heck yeah.
Heck
yeah, we did, Micah.
Another one of my favorite movies. I actually was doing this thing where I wanted to watch 4 or 5-star movies in a row, so it looked like, on my recent activity, it would be 5.
So it looked like you rated everything you watched 5 stars?
Yes.
Wow.
And we had just, like, I don't know, I felt like we had just come off of, like, a string of not great movies, and I wanted to just be, like, good movies. That's what it was. We went on a trip and we didn't watch very many movies.
Oh yeah, we didn't. Yeah, we went out camping and we didn't.
And then
we didn't watch any movies.
And then we came back and watched Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, I was about to say it was not a pretty day. Oh, by the way, we did. For those who don't know, last week we did an episode on Tom and Jerry that you should go check out.
But like, man, Hunt for the Wilder People is so good.
It really is.
Best Taika Waititi movie I've seen.
It's not even a competition, man.
Right.
Out of the ones we've seen.
I haven't seen Boy or What We Do in the Shadows, which I hear are really, really good, but it definitely tops Jojo Rabbit and definitely Thor Ragnarok.
I still hate how, like, I do like Taika's direction in almost every movie I've seen, not Ragnarok, but for some reason his movies just always reek of, like, this sense of ego that he has, and I don't know why that is. He just seems, I don't know. Every time I watch one of his movies, it just seems like he's really, like, smug about how good he is, and I don't like it.
I don't know. I've never.
That's probably part of the reason I don't love Hunt for the Wilder People as much as I would want to, and I don't know.
I've never felt that way, but
especially like just watching interviews with him and stuff, he just always seems kind of, I don't know, self-absorbed, which I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched an interview with him.
Yeah, he's not. I don't know. He just seems. I don't know. He seems like the kind of person who would irritate me to be around. As much as I do like his direction and style, especially in Hunt for the Wilder People, it's a very, very fun movie.
All right. Well, I gave Hunt for the Wilder People 5 stars.
Yeah.
Did you watch anything on the 4th?
I did. I watched Surprise Boogie, which is a short from 1957 about jazz that you should go watch. It's pretty fun.
Is it a surprise boogie?
No, it's not really a surprise at all. They tell you, like, literally the name of the movie is Surprise Boogie, so it's not really a surprise, is it?
All right. Well, on the 5th, we watched My Dinner with Andre.
My Dinner with Andre.
Which, dang it, I love My Dinner with Andre. I don't even know why I like it as much as I do. But
it's kind of an anomaly.
But, like, man,
it's so weird.
For a movie that's just two guys sitting down at dinner, literally it doesn't cut anywhere. Literally they don't do anything. They just sit and talk for about 2 hours.
It's a podcast, Mike.
I love it so much, though.
Is it just a podcast?
It's the best podcast I've ever listened to.
That should be my next review for My Dinner with Andre 10 of 10 podcast episode, guys. Can call it quits.
But man, I wrote a pretty long-ish review on it, and I don't know, I just love it. I don't know why. I like what they talk about. Is it because you're a theater kid, Micah?
Maybe
it is. I like how I like the points they bring up. I like the way they balance everything. I like the pacing of the screenplay.
Bro, the editing is weird. It's whack. Like, I can't believe someone had to edit this. Like, it's literally just a dialogue scene for like an hour and some odd minutes.
But it still is like a decently edited dialogue.
Yeah, no, it's good. No, I wasn't saying whack as in like, oh man, the editing's bad, it's whack. I was saying like it's whack that someone had to edit this.
Yeah.
It's just one long dialogue scene with like 4 different angles.
But I gave My Dinner with Andre 5 stars. Love me some My Dinner with Andre.
Heck yeah.
Then also on the 5th, right after my streak of 5-star movies, I watched The Eye.
The Eye.
Which was pretty darn bad. It was an American remake of a Chinese movie, which is also supposedly pretty darn bad.
And usually the American remakes of Chinese movies are worse. And then they choose one that already wasn't very good, apparently.
And it's directed by the duo who directed The Messengers, which was horrible.
Oh my gosh, The Messengers. Oh man. Yeah, not good.
Oh wait. No. The original one was. Dang it.
Oh, okay.
I got that mixed up. The original Eye was directed by them. These I think are like pretty much not well-known directors at all. They haven't really directed anything. But still, not very good, not very scary, not very creepy.
I caught the last 20 minutes of it, and it looked very boring.
It was very boring. I gave it 2 stars. Then what did we watch on the 5th, Remy?
We watched the best frickin' Batman movie there is. Say it with me.
Well, I wouldn't call it the best Batman movie.
Mask of the Phantasm,
but one of the best Batman movies I've ever seen.
It's so good, man.
I don't know. I would probably say I think The Dark Knight is better made.
I think The Dark Knight is better made.
But everything else doesn't even touch this.
Yeah.
It's very cheesy. It's very much.
I don't know why you guys kept saying it's cheesy. I didn't find it cheesy.
It's definitely cheesy, Rebby.
I don't know.
But it's a good cheesy. It's that cheesy because it's Batman the Animated Series Batman, and it's that kind of cheesy, like animated Batman cheesy, where they have these weird lines and weird like cheesy plot points. But it works so well for getting you into this more comic book-y superhero world.
I don't know. I just feel like cheesy has this lack of prestige around it.
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I like the cheese in it, if you will. I think it's all the better for it. Honestly, I'd rather have this than stupid pretty much any other Batman animated movie where I've seen where it's like, I'm sorry, Alfred. Crying.
Oh, but you know what? I take it all back. Mike, a Lego Batman movie is the best Batman movie.
I think just most of the time, Batman movies that aren't like depressing, like Batman Sad Boy Hours, are better.
Batman listens to Frank Ocean in the Batcave.
Exactly. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. It was pretty well made. Very fun.
I want to do. I don't know. I want to create a piece of art discussing Mask of the Phantasm. It looks like it would be fun to talk about.
But Robbie, everybody's done that.
I know. Literally the entire time I was watching the movie, I'm like, the video essayists are going to eat this up.
And they did.
And then they did.
I gave it 4 stars.
I gave it a like.
Then on the 6th, we watched the freaking masterpiece, Shrek 2, for the first time.
Very first time, if you can even believe it.
We could never find it anywhere.
Well, and we weren't allowed to watch any of the Shrek movies until, like, I don't know, a couple of years ago.
No,
I mean, we probably could have.
You keep saying this stuff, but it's not true. We could have watched it a long time ago. We just never wanted to because when we were really young, we weren't allowed to. And then
we weren't allowed to. And then, like, we just kind of dropped it, and I didn't think about it much.
Exactly. It's not that, like, we could have watched this for, like, years, many, many years, but we just didn't.
Yeah. But yeah, I really love the first Shrek. I was interested to see what Shrek 2 was going to be like.
Shrek 2 was better.
And I don't know, I didn't think it was better, but
I thought it was better. Come on, the story is better.
The soundtrack has so many bangers.
The story is better. The soundtrack is better. The side characters are better. The location is better. The villain is better.
You know, I don't know, man. I don't know. I need to watch it again. I don't know if I'm comfortable saying it's better than the first one. I love Shrek so much.
See, I like Shrek. I do not like its plot. I really don't.
Really?
It seems pointless for, like, an overall story. And Farquaad really doesn't make much sense overall. There's the stupid whole lying reveal plot thing going on.
I don't know what you have against the lying plot reveals in movies.
They're so contrived. Just talk. But this doesn't have that. It's much better.
I mean, I guess the more I think about it, the more I probably agree that it's maybe edges out the original a little bit. But I don't know. It's really good.
Both of them are good.
For reference, Shrek is one of my favorite animated movies, and I'm questioning whether or not Shrek 2 is better than that.
I gave Shrek 2 4.5 stars.
Yeah, no, it's good. It was especially fun. It was really late at night.
Then on the 7th, we watched a lot of movies separately.
Yeah, I was about to say, I watched 3 movies without you, and you watched 2 movies without me.
I watched The Princess Bride. Very good. I can quote way too much of the movie, and it's so weird because it seems like it's such, like, a classic, and then you watch, like, they just, like, it feels like almost like it's overhyped, and, like, oh, it's The Princess Bride. Everybody always talks about The Princess Bride and quotes The Princess Bride, and then you watch it and you're like, man, this is just, like, a really good movie though.
Yeah, no, I actually rewatched it. It was sometime late last year. I remember it was starting to get cold, so I don't know. It was probably about a year ago, sometime. But I watched it. I was so scared that I wasn't gonna like it this time, and I was like, I haven't seen it in so long. Oh, I hope I like it, and then I really liked it.
But yeah, I give it 5 stars. Then I also watched The Martian. I like The Martian quite a bit.
The Martian.
It's really silly, but I like it. I give it 4 stars.
The Martian.
Let's wrap this up. We're going over time.
Okay. First thing I watched yesterday was The Freshman, which was a 1925 movie. It's the first Harold Lloyd movie I have seen. Or wait, not Harold Lloyd. What am I saying? Wait, yes, Harold Lloyd. Yes. I'm an idiot. Okay, it's first Harold Lloyd movie I've seen, and I really enjoyed it. It had some really, really well, like, set up and staged gags throughout it, which, I mean, it is a silent movie, so a lot of it centers around physical comedy, which, I mean, I see it as a win, honestly. But yeah, not like groundbreaking or anything, but it is quite good. You should watch it sometime. Also quite an interesting critique of like the importance we put on ourselves to be popular, that sort of thing. It's all about a freshman who goes to college and tries to be popular is the entire movie. Oh, and then I watched To Be or Not to Be, which I cannot recommend to you enough. Like, honestly, this is one of my favorite movies I've seen in a while, like, out of the stuff I've watched in the past, like, month or so. It's really fantastic. It's a comedy set during World War II about a theater troupe who, through various shenanigans, attempts to assassinate a bunch of different people. It's really funny. It's really good. There's a lot of like really clever stuff in here. And also, Micah, they have a Jojo Rabbit-esque Hail Hitler scene in it.
Wow.
Like, honestly, I wonder if Taika Waititi watched this movie and was like, bro, what if you did that, but like up to 11?
That's funny.
Micah, literally first 5 minutes of To Be or Not to Be, Hitler walks into the room and he says, "Hail myself." And I lost it.
Wow.
It's so good. Yeah, watch To Be or Not to Be. It's really funny and quite clever. It's one of the smartest comedies I've seen in a while, especially from the 40s. I can't believe they were making this back then. It's really good. And then I watched Nancy Drew, Reporter, which is a 1939 movie about Nancy Drew, Reporter. Yeah, that's really all you need to know. It was fine. It was kind of fun. It wasn't very Nancy Drew-esque. I don't know. I never read Nancy Drew as a child. I never really even read the Hardy Boys as a child. Which, I mean, I feel like that's kind of a failure on Women's History Month, Mike. I feel like I kind of dropped the ball. Why are you laughing, Mike?
I don't know. I've kind of been zoning out.
Wow. Okay. I was saying I dropped the ball because I didn't read Nancy Drew as a child.
Oh, yeah.
On Women's History Month, no less.
I mean, I've read a couple of the books. They're not that great.
Wow. Okay. Well, maybe we'll talk about a Nancy Drew movie on here sometime.
Hey, that one Nancy Drew movie is very good.
The Hidden Staircase one?
No, not the Hidden Staircase. The one I watched growing up.
All right. Well, I mean, that's all we watched. Then we watched Moxie, and that brings us to the current moment, today.
Yeah, right now.
Well, actually, we watched... I wanted to give this a shout-out directly after Moxie. I wanted to turn on Dear Sister. Which, for those who don't know, look up Dear Sister on YouTube and watch it right now. Do it.
It's amazing.
Do it right now.
It's hilarious. It's literally when comedy was born.
I was about to say, I believe the inception of comedy can be traced back to that point. But yes, thank you for listening to this week's episode.
Rambled on a bit there at the end with what we watched.
Yeah. I hope you guys have a good Women's Day.
Yeah.
I hope you guys have a good Women's History Month. And I hope you guys have a good year.
Heck yeah.
In 2021. But anyways, we'll see you next week. Who knows what'll happen. I don't know.
Bye.